welcome to our podcast. I'm Elia and I'm here with my friend Pietro.
Hi.
And Andrea.
Hi guys. In this episode we decide to discuss the right of free movement of people and goods, starting with the 42nd article of the Magna Carta Libertatum, then linking it with the Navigation Act, the Italian Constitution and the Schengen Treaty. But now let's go to the medieval England.
The Magna Carta is a fundamental document that affirms the freedom of English people. It proclaims rights that have become part of English law and are today the basis of the constitution of every English-speaking country. The English people forced the King John to accept it under the Civil War. It was the 15th June of the 1215. The Magna Carta say that the king had to follow the law and he couldn't rule as he wished. It was one of the first documents to affirm that citizens had this right.
Let's read the Article 42 from the Magna Carta. In future it should be lawful for any man to live and return to our kingdom, unarmed and without fear, by land or water, preserving his allegiance to us, except in time of war for some short period, for the common benefits of the realm. People that have been in prison or outlawed in accordance with the law of the land, people from a country that is at war with us, and merchants, who should be dealt with as stated above, are excepted from this provision. The article I just read gives freedom to citizens of English-speaking territories to move freely, and with them goods for trade. And another important step of this story came with the Navigation Act, a document entered by Cromwell, which violently held freedom of movement. The Navigation Act declared that what England and its colonies could or couldn't import and export. When England passed the Navigation Act, more and more rules were added, which made it harder for the colonies to trade. In a few words, it was back to a situation similar to the one before the Magna Carta. We made a comparison with our constitution, but I'm not going to explain you. I let Andrea speak.
Yes, Elia. Today, the right to free movement of persons within our state is governed by our constitution, which entered into force on 1st January 1948 through Article 16 of the Civil Relations.
Now I'm gonna read this article. Every citizen has the right to reside and travel freely in any part of the country, except for such general limitation as may be established by law for reason of health or security. No restriction may be imposed for political reason. Every citizen shall be free to leave the territory of the Republic and return to it, notwithstanding any illegal obligations.
We immediately note a first difference with Article 42 of the Magna Carta. The article of our Constitution regulates the right to free movement of persons in more detail and is better guaranteed because there can be no restriction for political reasons. In both articles of the Magna Carta and the Italian Constitution, it is stated that this right to the free movement of persons in territory is guaranteed according to the laws provided for by the kingdom or the state. Also, in the article presented in the Magna Carta, insists more on the theme of war than in the 13th century they were more frequent. Moreover, at international and European level, this right is further regulated by the Schengen Treaty of 14 June 1985.
Yeah, you're right. In fact, the Schengen Agreement is a treaty that led most of the European countries toward the abolishment of the national borders to build a Europe without borders known as the Schengen area. Signed in Luxembourg, initially by only 5 EU countries, the agreement remains one of the world's biggest areas that have ended border control between member countries. The Schengen area is one of the pillars of the European project. Since its creation in 1995, when passport controls were abolished inside this zone, EU citizens enjoy the right to freedom of movement. This means that they can live, study, work, and retire anywhere in the EU. Tourists and businesses also benefit from these rights. Schengen includes 27 countries, 23 from EU and 4 from outside: Iceland, Norway, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein. Millions of people travel across an international EU border every day. Free movement may in practice ensure different rights for different categories of people, from tourists to families.
This agreement has been suspended since 21 October 2023. The government has reintroduced border controls with Slovenia, quoting the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and increased migration flows as a factor of danger for the public order and international security in the country. 11 Schengen countries, including Italy, have restored controls along their internal borders, and in 6 cases with a duration of 12 months.
Our journey from England to 21st century Europe ends here. We bid you a goodbye and look forward to the next episode. We leave you with a quote from the great figure of ancient history, Caesar.
If the works of past ages are not used, the world will always remain in the infancy of knowledge.